my premise is that we clearly need housing, and we need different types of housing. The phrase I used in that last talk was that we needed everything from tiny houses to penthouses. And I still really believe that. I believe that very strongly. To me, the key is where. Where do we build this stuff? If we're not going to pave over all of our farmland and we're going to build in ways that are more sustainable, what does that look like? We've been on the path towards some intelligent correction in that regard for a long time, but the pandemic has really been a catalytic shift of views about how we live, what's important, what we need, how many cars do I need to own. What's interesting is that these properties that have always seemed like they were off limits are suddenly becoming within the realm of possibility for change. In the pandemic, one of the phenomenon that's been happening is that the participation in public hearings, I think, has dramatically increased, because we can sit at home in our comfy chair and we can listen in on the council or planning commission and click the little button to say something, to offer up our opinion of it. You know, from the outside, I'm, you know, as a previous user of these public hearings, that might have terrified me. But what I've been finding is that as many people are showing up at these hearings in support of the new housing as we're opposed to it, and I would say even the trend is more are showing up in favor, not just of the housing, but of the reimagining of the urban form, of the walkability. You mentioned downtown Ventura. People are loving it. They're getting reminded about what it's like to live in a place where you can just amble along and stop at a cafe and see people you know. And, you know, this is happening all over the world, but we haven't really enjoyed a lot of it here. So the pandemic has, you know, the downtown Ventura phenomenon, if I had proposed that a year before the pandemic, I probably would have been run out of town, you know. But it was an adaptation, right? It was a response to, oh no, what do we do? How do we make this work? And it's awesome what we can do when we decide that we want to do that. So again, you know, the other thing that's happening there is that we are building, I don't know, there must be at least 10, maybe more housing projects in the works right now in downtown Ventura. And this is something we envisioned in 1994. And people just really couldn't imagine it at the time. It just was too far out. Now, it's like, how quickly can this happen? When can I move in? We can't solve the housing problem by doing what we've done for the last 60 years. We've got to think in new ways. We've got to create innovative housing solutions. And at the same time, those are going to help us solve the sustainability challenges. And I think that's really exciting. What is it that causes us to shift our perspective? And I think there's a wonderful nexus there between economy and sustainability and equity and social justice. And, you know, there isn't a solution for each one. There's a solution, you know, that brings it all together.